वेलकम यू ऑल। आज के इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं सोर्स मटेरियल और बुक्स फॉर कंप्लीटिंग द सिलेबस ऑफ रिसेंटली एडवर्टाइज्ड पोस्ट्स इन हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट बाय JKSSB. Before we proceed ahead, I want to make certain points clear to you people. First point, there is not a single book in the entire market which will suffice all parts of your syllabus. That means we have to complete this syllabus part wise, and part wise we have to use the source material. Second point, in addition to the books, make use of some government websites like World Health Organization, Census Organization of India, Health Department, Social Welfare Department. Use websites of these departments. If you find any part over there which is related to your syllabus, kindly go through that part. Third point, as the time limit provided by the JKSSB is very short, you need to prepare very wisely. Make notes, write simple things over there. Do not write those things which you already remember well. Write only those things which you don't remember or you often forget. Do not spend much time on a single topic. Now let's begin with anatomy and physiology part. For anatomy and physiology, I recommend this book, the preface of which is given over here, Anatomy and Physiology for Nurses. Those aspirants who have read anatomy and physiology from some other source, they do not need to worry, they can stick to that book. अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन अराइज होता है कि एनाटॉमी और फिजियोलॉजी में किस किस्म के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं और एनाटॉमी और फिजियोलॉजी को लेके हमारी स्ट्रेटजी क्या रहेगी. फॉर दैट आई हैव प्रोवाइडेड सम प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस below the preface of this book, which we will discuss so that you people will get an idea how questions are coming from anatomy and physiology section. Please note these questions which I will discuss over here are not the questions from the previous year question paper which I have already discussed with you people. ये एक नया पेपर है जिसमें मैंने क्वेश्चंस उठाए हैं और आप लोगों के साथ डिस्कस कर रहा हूं सो दैट कि आप लोगों को एक एक क्वेश्चंस भी पता चले कि कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस आए थे और आप लोगों को एक आइडिया भी हो जाए कि एनाटॉमी और फिजियोलॉजी में किस किस्म के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं सो दैट कि आप लोग उसी तरीके से एनाटॉमी और फिजियोलॉजी पार्ट को प्रिपेयर करोगे. Now the first question from anatomy and physiology part is, longest bone in the human body is femur bone, humerus bone, radius and ulna, tibia and fibula. Its answer is A, femur bone. Second question, the structural and functional unit of kidney is nephron, glomerulus, neuron, renal cortex. Its answer is nephron. Third question, which among the following is a type of muscular contraction? A, isometric, B, isokinetic, C, isobaric, D, isotropic. Its answer is A, isometric. Fourth question, which of the following parts is commonly known as eardrum? Its answer is A, tympanic membrane. Question number 5, the inflammation of thin membrane that lines the abdominal wall and covers the organs inside is called peritonitis. Name this thin membrane. Its answer is C, peritoneus. Question number 6, the nucleus of a cell contains A, ribosomes, B, Golgi apparatus, C, endoplasmic reticulum, D, chromosomes. Its answer is D. Question number 7, the total number of ribs present in a human body is 13 pairs, 10 pairs, 12 pairs, 11 pairs. Its answer is C, 12 pairs. Question number 8, the most effective and useful carbohydrate splitting digestive enzyme is diastase, pepsin, trypsinase, amylase. Its answer is D, amylase. Question number 9, which one of the following is the largest organ in the human body? A, pancreas, B, brain, C, liver, D, skin. Its answer is D, skin. Question number 9, which among the following is not an essential mineral required by the human body? A, calcium, B, sodium, C, phosphorus, D, biotin. So we have to eliminate that answer which is not an essential mineral required by the human body. So its answer is D, biotin. Biotin is not an essential mineral required by the human body, while as calcium, sodium and phosphorus are essential minerals required by the human body. Question number 10, the central nervous system consists of sensory neurons and motor neurons and brain, spinal cord and brain, spinal cord and sensory neurons. Its answer is C, spinal cord and brain. Question number 11, Which among the following organs of human reproductive system is not present in multiple numbers? This is a conceptual based question. It's not a fact based, but it's a conceptual based. Which among the following organs of human body system is not present in multiple numbers? That means we have to find out that organ of the human body which is not present in multiple numbers. That means the organ which is single and is not present in multiple numbers. So testes are present in multiple numbers. There are two ovaries are present in multiple numbers. Uterine tubes, D part, are also present in multiple numbers, whereas uterus is single. So its answer becomes C. Question number 12. The hormone secreted by anterior pituitary gland is A. Prolactin, B. Antidiuretic hormone, C. Insulin, D. Oxytocin. Its answer is A. Prolactin. Question number 13. A bone is mainly composed of the inorganic mineral A. Manganese, B. Magnesium, C. Calcium, D. Iron. Its answer is C. Calcium. Now you people might have got an idea how questions are framed from anatomy and physiology part. Your preparation strategy should be likewise as the questions are asked in the previous papers. Now let's move towards the first aid part. For first aid part, I would like to recommend the book by L.C. Gupta. If any candidate has some other book, they can stick to that book as well. We will now analyze the questions from the first aid part so that you people will have an idea how questions are asked from this part. The first question over here is which among the following actions is first recommended in controlling blood sprouting from a wound? A. Raise the wound above the level of victim's heart. B. Apply a tourniquet immediately on the wound. C. Apply an ointment on the wound. D. Call for emergency services. Its answer is A. Raise the wound above the level of victim's heart. Question number 2. A triangular bandage folded to approximately a 2-inch width is called Carvet bandage, Cravat bandage, Barton bandage, D. Roller bandage. Its answer is Carvet, C-R-A-V-A-T, Carvet bandage. See over here how the service selection board tries to confuse you, C-A-R-V-A-T. Second one is C-R-A-V-A-T, Cravat bandage, and A part is Carvet bandage. So its answer is B. Cravat bandage. Question number 3. A patient has pale or bluish skin color, cold skin, dull or sunken eyes. These are symptoms of which of the following conditions? A. Shock, B. Angina pectoris, C. High fever, D. Heart attack. If you people do not understand this question well, settle from the options. If you will remember the syllabus well, shock is given in your syllabus, angina pectoris is not given, high fever is separately not given, heart attack is separately not given. So from syllabus you can understand that shock is in our syllabus, so it will be shock. Angina pectoris is not given, so you can eliminate it. High fever is separately not given, you can eliminate it. Heart attack is not separately given, you can eliminate it. This is just a trick which I am discussing with you people, how you can arrive at a conclusion, how you will find out the right answer. Now question number 4. What is the standard rhythm of cardiopulmonary resuscitation? A. 15 compressions and 2 breaths at a rate of 6 repeats in 2 minutes. B. 5 compressions and 1 breath every minute. C. 30 compressions and 1 breath at a rate of 5 repeats in 3 minutes. D. 30 compressions and 2 breaths at the rate of 5 repeats in 2 minutes. Its answer is D. You can get it from the first aid book, 30 compressions and 2 breaths. Question number 5. The serious and extended nature of unconsciousness is termed as A. Seizures, B. Coma, C. Fainting, D. Confusion. Its answer is B. Coma. Question number 6. Which among the following is an emergency procedure useful when a person's breathing or heartbeat has stopped? Its answer is B. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Now you might have got an idea how questions are framed from first aid part. अब तक हमने कंप्लीट किया है सर्जिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स देयर यूजेस, जिसको मैंने और एक वीडियो में डिस्कस किया है. That video is also available on this channel. Secondly, we have also discussed anatomy and physiology part. इसके sources और इसके MCQs previous year question papers से. Now moving towards the very important part of your syllabus, that is pharmacological part. Most of the aspirants have requested me to guide them on this part, so I have tried my level best to guide you on this part. Let's analyze the syllabus of this part first. One part of the syllabus is ordinary bazaar medicine, their recognition, doses and uses. This bazaar medicine is nothing but the old medicines which were used like we have turmeric or haldi. When we had a cut in old times, we used haldi or turmeric. So in simple terms, this bazar medicine is all those previous medicines which were used in old times. But I feel if service selection board will ask a question on this, everybody should know it, because they have to defend later on when the answer keys are published. So there becomes a big confusion if there is not solid material or material is not available regarding this. If somebody wants to read more about this Bazaar medicine, I have provided a website where you will get a book of 250 pages all on Bazaar medicine. But I personally recommend you not to read anything about Bazaar medicines. Now moving towards the second part of your syllabus, that is suppositories. How to prepare suppositories of special medicines, pastries, bogies, plasters, etc. As far this part is concerned, you can get a lot of material by googling this topic. However, I have simplified things for you. As far suppositories are concerned, they are unpleasant irritants or cannot be absorbed through stomach. That means suppositories are made of those drugs which are unpleasant, which are irritant to the stomach, or which cannot be absorbed through stomach. When a suppository is made, an outer covering of a suppository is given of cocoa butter or polyethylene glycol or hydrogels or glycerinated gelatin. As far these items are concerned, when a suppository is given an outer covering of these things, this outer covering, when it is inserted into the rectum, it melts and the drug is released at the site. So these things melt at body temperature, thus releasing the drug at site. So suppositories are simply used for rectum. You can get more information regarding suppositories by googling it. Now pessaries. Pessaries are prosthetic devices inserted into vagina, most commonly used for pelvic organ prolapse. In simple terms, when there is a pelvic organ prolapse, pessaries are used. And second point, pessaries are used in vagina, while as suppositories are used for rectum. Kindly read more about pessaries at the site given over here. There is a lot of information about pessaries and questions are coming from pessaries. Kindly read the types of pessaries which you will get from this website. Lastly, bogies. As far bogies are concerned, they are just like suppositories, pessaries, but they are used for urethra and nose. You will not get any other material regarding this bogies. Now moving towards the next part of your syllabus, that is ointments, spray solutions or nebulas, inhalations, general rules about preparation of mixtures. As far this part is concerned, you need not to prepare this part. The knowledge which you have gained till date will suffice this part. As far ointments are concerned, they are the drugs which are applied locally. Spray solutions are also applied locally, like we had diclofenac spray solution which is used in the supports activity when there is an injury, or nebulas are also spray solutions, but they are in the form of gases or clouds. Inhalations are drugs like we have butyrate respules or salvia respules which are put into the nebulizer and nebulization is given to the patient. General rules about preparation of mixtures, you need not read this. Now moving towards the next part of your syllabus, that is general directions on dispensing, weighting and measuring. How prescriptions are written, prescription reading, how to calculate doses, weights and measures. Formula for converting from one scale to other. Abbreviation is used in prescriptions. As far this part of the syllabus is concerned, I personally recommend you kindly go through the previous year question papers first and see what kind of questions are being framed from this part. So far, I have not seen a single question on dispensing, weighting, measuring, or formula conversion. But there are certain topics important in this part of the syllabus. Those are how prescriptions are written, prescription reading, abbreviations used in prescriptions. Except these three topics, I personally do not feel there is a need to read any other topic from this part of the syllabus. But you should know these three topics very well. In prescription writing, you should know where the advice is, where the diagnosis, and where the main treatment is written. You should also know what kind of abbreviations are used in prescription writing, like we have OD, BID, TID, etc. Moving towards the next part of your syllabus, that is doses of drugs, pharmacopoeial preparation and their doses. Incompatibility, physical, chemical and physiological and therapeutical. As far this part of the syllabus is concerned, there is only one point important, that is incompatibility of drugs. Rest is not important because doses of drugs, there are thousands and thousands of drugs. which have their own doses. And so the only important point from this part of the syllabus is drug incompatibility, which means reaction between the drugs. If there is a change in the color of the solution or some kind of gas evaporates from the drug when two drugs are mixed, that is called drug incompatibility. So I request you to kindly go through drug incompatibility. Moving ahead, the next topic from your syllabus is kinds of drugs, characteristics of drugs, balsams, gums, etc. Pharmaceutical process and methods. As for this part of the syllabus is concerned, whatsoever you have read till date about the kinds of drugs, like we have antibiotics, we have antihypertensive, we have antihelminthics, we have drugs acting upon cardiovascular system, etc., etc. Whatsoever you know till date, that will suffice this part. As far these balsams are concerned, they are oil exudates from various trees and plants. For example, you might have seen a tree, some kind of oily sticky liquid is coming out from this tree. Those are known as balsams, which have some kind of medicine uses. Now we have completed today's discussion. Lastly, I would request you people to kindly go through the previous year question papers first and see where from the questions are being asked from pharmacological part. Then start your preparation process. Moreover, if you like my videos, kindly subscribe to this channel so that you will get notified on time.